Networks. Each morning when I go out my back door, I look at the web my fellow creature has constructed on the porch post and ceiling. I say, "Good morning, Charlotte," to the thumb-sized black spider with the yellow stripes on her black stockings. I named her after the spider in E.B. White's classic children's story, Charlotte's Web. So far, though her web is beautiful and elaborate, she has not written war or some pig in its intricacies. I have not had the heart to tear down her web, as the food she catches in it is the source of her living. I proceed past the garbage can that the garbage men faithfully empty each Tuesday, whether I remember to take it out to the curb or not. Out to the mailbox where former student Jim Combs is faithful to deliver the Lexington Herald Leader each morning by the time I am out of bed. I pass by the pear tree loaded with pears that I thought was part of the adjacent cherry tree until former student Keith Gillespie replanted the shrubs in my yard and added a flowering pear. Evidently, the volunteer pear tree needed another pear tree's pollen to make its blossoms turn into fruit. I checked the pecan tree that my husband planted years ago. After it was topped out into a stub, I was afraid it would die, but the roots saw to it that the leaves came out to nourish the tree. The begonias I planted in honor of my husband on Memorial Day have all lived and have bloomed their hearts out. The shrubs my friend Mike, who is an artist with the pruning shears, has trimmed are shapely and beautiful. The yard that Danny Fulton mows and trims faithfully every Friday looks neat and trim. I think how dependent I am on my web of friends. I prefer to call them a network. From Charlotte, not the spider, who comes when I need her to run my sweeper and clean my house, to my friends who have offered to sit with me while I have outpatient surgery, to my special friend who watches my house and takes care of my mail when I am gone and calls to see if I am still alive each morning and sees that I have made it home safe from my travels each evening, to my Sunday school class, my church friends, my Enterprise Association of Baptist friends, my Kentucky Women's Missionary Union friends, my retired and active teacher friends, and even my column readers, all bring me joy and support, each in his own special way. The mail carrier brings me letters from old friends and relatives. Each week I get my hometown paper, the Butler County Banner. In it, I find news from my home community written by former schoolmate. Each week, I also receive the Clinch Valley Times, sent to me by the editor, former student Ann Young Gregory, who has an excellent essay in her paper each week. How dependent I am on the U.S. mail. The telephone brings me news from classmates and newly made friends, as well as progress reports from my children. I regularly get calls from all over the United States. I'm so glad the long-distance telephone is not solely used to transmit bad news as it was when I was a child. I think how dependent I am on the advice of my grown children. Having intelligent, supportive, mature children is one of the special joys of old age. Charlotte the spider and I are blessed to have networks that sustain us. That is why I am not cruel enough to tear down Charlotte's web.